And we're here today to present our division strategic framework. We're also here to get your thoughts on how to keep this framework in mind and implement the framework, operationalize the framework so that it becomes part of everything that we do. There are a couple of people that I want to introduce before we get too far into this. Two of those folks are from our strategy and performance work group, and they were instrumental in asking the FPS leadership team questions and guiding us, helping us with format as we developed this strategic framework. And those two folks are Paul Huell. Paul, wave your hand. And Heidi Lovell. Is Heidi here? Raise your hand, Heidi. The next person I want to introduce is Sarah Detmer. Sarah is our communications, dedicated communications specialist for our division. And Sarah helps me with a ton of different things. She's been helping out on the LCM project, helping out on the Capitol Lake project, and also helping to pull together this presentation and help it be a little bit more professional. So big thanks to Paul Huell, Heidi Lovell, and Sarah Detmer in helping us come together. We also have a special guest today, Annette Meyer. If you wouldn't mind waving your hand. Annette's in the witness protection program. You can see her kind of in the back row. Sometimes she gets a little bit of a shadow face, but appreciate Annette being here to help us with this rollout as well. So next slide, please. So this is just a overview of what we're going to try to do today. We'll do an icebreaker. We'll do an update on our strategic framework. Each of the program managers are going to give updates on their mission and vision for their specific teams. We're then going to break out into small groups for discussion. We'll come back as a larger group and share some of our key ideas and takeaways. Then I'll do a quick division update, and then I'll let you go back to your regular jobs. So with that, Sarah Detmer, I'm going to hand the mic over to you and let you get started on our icebreaker question.
Sounds good. Thank you, Bill. And hi, everyone. As Bill mentioned, I am Sarah Detmer. I'm happy to see all of your faces. I'm excited to be here. I am the FPS Communications Manager, and I've been with DES since about January. So I've gotten to work with a lot of you already, but I'm excited to hopefully get the opportunity to work with more of you in the future. So we are going to start with a little icebreaker to get to know each other better, warm up a little bit before we really get started with everything. Our icebreaker question for today is, what is the bravest thing that you have ever done? And that could be professionally, it could be personally, whatever the first thing that jumps into your mind when you think about the bravest thing that you have ever done. The way that we're going to do this is we're going to split into small breakout rooms of about 4 or 5 people. Your rooms are not going to have a facilitator. So once you are in those rooms, go ahead and get started answering that question and getting to know each other, getting to know one another a little bit better. You'll have 5 minutes, and that includes a 1-minute warning before you are dropped back into this main group. So we're going to go ahead and get started. When you see the little indicator asking you to join your room, please click accept, and we will see you back here in 5 minutes.
Now, one thing to add to that is that we will pause the recording for the icebreaker portion of this presentation today. So, all right, thank you. So now we're back from our icebreaker, and time to get on with the main portion of our show. I want to say thanks for your time, and I know everybody's busy. Thanks for fitting this into your schedule to come together and talk about this. We talked about what went into our framework back in November, and those conversations helped to frame where we are today. Today we're going to be talking more about how do we implement this, how do we incorporate this into our decision making, and our daily work. So so some of you may be asking, okay, what is a strategic framework? Why do we need one? Why does it matter? Those sorts of questions. And the strategic framework for our division is builds upon the strategic framework for the agency. And it helps us to identify, how do I fit into the organization? How do other people's programs fit? It helps to provide some clarity on our purpose and our direction, and builds consistency within program lines and across program lines, so that we can align our efforts as a service provider. So I want to go over our agency framework a little bit. Then I'll go over the framework for the division. Then we'll go over the program managers. We'll go over the mission and vision statements for each one of their programs. And what I want you to look for is kind of a common theme, and how each of these programs or each of these frameworks support each other up to the agency strategic framework. The other thing there's two other things that I want you to be thinking about as I go through this as well. And those two other things are questions that we're going to ask in the latter half of the program. It's what can I do to be able to implement the strategic framework, and what do I need from my leadership team in order to implement the strategic framework. So those are the two things that I want you to be keeping in mind as we're going through this this thing. So so you've all received the agency strategic framework. Can someone tell me what the agency's mission is? And if you don't know, you can read it off of the slide that's in front of you.
We strengthen the business of government.
Perfect. Thank you, Rachel. That's right. We strengthen the business of government. And the vision is a little bit longer, so I'll read that one. We take an enterprise view of government operations and provide shared services, policy, and governance for our customers so that they can focus on their core missions. And, you know, when we think about the work that FPS does, our programs, and I'm going to pick on the Secretary of State, for example. Secretary of State's office is building a new library archives building. It's a $80 million project, and but that's not their core mission. The core mission of the Secretary of State's office is to oversee elections, its business licenses, its archives, its the state library. That's the business that they do on a day in, day out. And so they don't necessarily have the expertise to be able to build a new building, but we do. And so that's how we step in to strengthen the business of government and let our customers focus on what they do best. So I just wanted to draw that link a little bit for everyone. Some of the strategic drivers, I wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit. And we've called these things a number of, we've given them a few names. They used to be our strategic priorities, then they became the big three. We're kind of calling them our strategic drivers right now, but It's customer satisfaction, team satisfaction, and financial health. And each of these things kind of support each other. My example on all of this is that, you know, in order to have good customer satisfaction, we've got to have good team satisfaction. Our financial health stems from the fees that we charge to our customers. So our customers have to be satisfied with us in order to, you know, pay our fees and help us to stay in the business of what we're doing. And the financial health of our organizations also plays into, you know, how many employees we've got, the services, the support, all of those sorts of things that help to build a team culture and team satisfaction. One of the other things that we talk about with team satisfaction is continuous improvement. And this entire effort for our division strategic framework is based upon that concept of how do we improve as a division so that we can provide the services, excellent services for our customers. And the values for the agency, respect, integrity, excellence, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so can move to slide 5, please. All right, so the strategic framework for the division supports the agency's division and builds upon that framework with additional definition that is more specific to our division. It defines who we are and the value that we bring to our customers. It aligns our efforts and helps us to function as a team with a common purpose. It helps us look toward the horizon and plan for the future instead of scrambling to react to the obstacles that feel like they come at us day to day. So the mission is a statement that answers the question, why do we exist and what is our purpose? And when I look at our division and when the leadership team looks at our division, our primary service to our outward facing customers is public works project management. And so our mission is we provide professional public works project management, energy efficiency, facility planning services to effectively meet the needs of our customers in support of their service to Washington. And our vision statement is a statement of not what we do, but kind of what we aspire to be in 3 to 5 years. A lot of discussion around this, and we have many customers out there that love us. There are some customers out there that ask us the question, why do we have to use you? Why can't we do this ourselves? And we want to be able to bring them over to the good side and be their provider of choice. So our vision is to be the trusted leading experts in public works project management in Washington State. And that's how we kind of grab into that statement. So next slide, please. So this slide talks about our values and our strategic focus areas. And we've got 4 values, and then we have 3 strategic focus areas. And so a value statement is a statement about how we roll, what's important to us, how are we going to behave while we are delivering our mission and aspiring to our vision for our division. And we've got 4 values. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is number 1 for us. And for our division, it actually has two parts to it. The first part of it is the culture within our agency, and we want to ensure that we have an inclusive culture that everybody's welcome, comfortable, and we're working with other parts of our agency to evolve into a anti-racist organization. And we want to embed that inclusivity into our culture. The second aspect of this, specific to our division, is providing business opportunity. And because our division is responsible for delivering projects upwards of or in excess of $1 billion this next biennium, there is a ton of business opportunity for small and diverse businesses, and we want to be able to ensure that that opportunity is there. The next two kind of go together, and a lot of discussion at the leadership team level between sustainability and stewardship. And are they the same thing? Are they not the same thing? And we ultimately, and I think I kind of pushed it over the edge on this one, but ultimately we decided that this is two separate things. And when we look at sustainability, what I want you to kind of think about is and I'm sure you've all seen this, the Venn diagram with three big circles, one representing economics, one representing the environment, and one representing social equity. And in the center of all of that is a sustainable organization. With our energy program, with the work we're doing in DEI, with all of the contracts that we get out there, we want to do that in a very sustainable way for our customers. The stewardship aspect, for me anyways, brings in another element of all of this. And we're not only stewards of the projects, we help our customers to choose HVAC equipment that's going to be have a long life cycle. We do lease life cycle cost analysis. We do energy life cycle cost analysis. All of those sorts of things go into our regular work. But the aspect of this that was important to me is the public works laws. And one of the reasons that we exist as an organization is that we understand public works laws, we understand open competitive bidding, and we understand that process that allows for that opportunity to go through in a professional way. And we are not only stewards of the project, but stewards of that process. The last one to talk about is collaboration. And this is, this is a core to our agency, or excuse me, our division. Our project managers are working with our contractors, they're working with our designers, they're working with our clients in all aspects of our project. And we're not able to deliver a successful project without that collaboration of all of the groups that are involved in that. So that kind of runs us through our values. The three strategic focus areas, and this kind of talks about okay, we're interested in continuous improvement, and the strategic framework is here to help guide us through that continuous improvement process. And when we started looking at actions to implement our strategic plan, they kind of fell into three categories. The first one is to build trust with our customers and partners. One, to send strategic direction and align our programs. And the final one, to establish processes for coordinating capital projects with our partners. So slide number 7, please. Okay, so our division is divided up into 6 programs. 3 of those programs are outward facing. PPD, E&AS, and energy all have outward customers that they serve. There's 3 support programs that provide their services either through the project managers or to the project managers to be able to support the work that happens to those final customers. And those are claims and disputes, public works, business diversity, and the contracts program. So because each one of these work units are unique, they have unique customers, they're providing unique products to their customers. We thought it appropriate that each of those programs should answer the questions, why do we exist, and what are our aspirations for the future? To that end, the leadership team has put together mission and vision statements specific to each one of the programs. And now our program managers are going to walk us through the mission and vision statements for their programs, beginning with Doug Kilpatrick. Doug?
All right, thanks. For those of you who haven't met me, I'm Doug Kilpatrick. I've been the DES program manager since April. I've worked for DES and GA before that for about a dozen years, and I've always worked in the energy field for probably over 30 years. As the energy program has worked to develop its mission and vision, our steps to get there were involved in trying to get a good articulation and clear, understandable message about our program's offerings and their purpose. And we did this when we were working with the communications folks a couple of years ago, and we were putting together our program web pages so that our clients and the public could see more effectively the kinds of offerings that we had and understand what we were doing. So our mission is articulated as it's to provide comprehensive project management and other technical services to help our clients reduce energy and operational costs and reach their sustainability goals. And this is a pretty core within what we're trying to do. It follows the general division mission of making our customers providing their opportunity to do their work better. They aren't energy experts. We bring the expertise to do that. And we need to achieve and maintain that reputation for excellent service in order so that our customers will stay working with us. Our customers are a little bit unique in that they are not required to work with the DES energy program in many cases. And so we have to work and strive very diligently to make sure that our offerings and the work that we do for our clients is valuable to them. And so our mission, our vision then is to be a national leader in energy efficiency, making Washington's public facilities the most sustainable in the nation and reducing Washington State's carbon emissions. Again, our mission reflects that overarching belief that our program provides that focused technical and customer services that yield those ongoing measurable energy saving results for our clients. We provide both contracting tools and specific technical support to these agencies to help them achieve their primary function in a cost-effective and sustainable way. Our technical staff of engineers, we call ourselves energy bozos. We bring the good stuff to those folks. And today our program is a national leader. Washington State program has completed over about $1.6 billion in performance contracts and satisfied over 400 state public facility customers since it began in 1985. And our vision is to maintain our national leadership role while we provide the highest level of professional services to our clients. So on a daily basis, we collaborate with energy services company partners to identify energy saving opportunities and develop effective projects to achieve those savings. We provide support and guidance to public facility owners and design teams when they're evaluating alternative facility energy strategies through the Energy Lifecycle Cost Analysis program. Our resource conservation managers help clients evaluate facility and campus utility consumption, implement operating best practices, and identify energy efficiency improvements to assist with required reporting mechanisms. Finally, the energy program clients have access to professional expertise and pre-qualified commissioning firms to solve building problems through an established economical and comprehensive process. Energy program staff work in concert with the other FPS division staff and provide high quality services to our common clients in order to drive exceptional customer satisfaction. With that, I'll turn it over to Janet Jansen.
Thank you, Doug. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Janet Jansen. I'm the ENAS program manager, and I've had this position since mid-2016, and I joined the state as a project manager in November of 2013. For the past 62 years, ENAS has been assigned by RCW legislative authority for public work services to our assigned state clients. As we've discussed in huddles and other meetings over the years, this work as part of FPS needs to provide the value-added services to our clients with project management services, and those services need to meet their needs in a professional and consistent manner that conforms with state public work laws. Therefore, our mission to serve Washington with excellent, consistent, and professional project management services on facilities that optimize value in design and construction. And vision, to be the preferred provider of Washington's public works and trusted leaders in the success of state facility projects. As an architect in private practice prior to joining the state, I had worked with the community and technical college system. I learned firsthand from vice presidents and facility managers that DE was an essential team member, but there was room for improvement. Many things have improved in the last number of years, but we are continually challenged by economic factors and evolving building technologies. We also have to deal with the added legislative requirements. We have clients that have been very happy with our services, but others not so happy with us. This is for a variety of reasons. Some have to do with the behaviors and skills of our staff, but others have to do with the processes and details of our work. We need to change and improve, and it'll take all of us to do that work. I see the ENAS mission and vision that those things can provide for us, and I apologize, provide a framework to allow for communications and improve strategic direction for a cohesive, collaborative improvement plan. We have a very large team that spans the state with a wide breadth of experience. Staff have been here for well over 25 years and as few as 2 months. Schedules and budgets are our biggest challenges. We also have additional assignments and technologies that are part of our work that were not even thought of 10 years ago. Even 5 years ago for the apprentice requirements that we now have to track, and B2G now that we did begin about 6 years ago. One new technology that we should have in place by year's end is online bidding. Working and improving these relationships with our clients are essential across the board. Many of our projects are recognized by regional design awards and have received other industry recognition as well as Design Build National Arena awards. The Helen Summers Building won 2 years ago in the International Design Build Arena. We celebrate those highlights, but we also need to celebrate the regular day-to-day minor works and smaller project successes that allow our agencies and colleges to continue their daily work. Our largest client group, the 34 campuses of the community and technical college system, is a tremendous asset to the state economy, and it is there for the growth for job opportunities for many people across the state. Our smaller agencies also need to see the value added by our services across the board. I look forward to working as we roll this out and continue our efforts together. I now will turn this over to our peer group leader, Kevin Dragon. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to address you today. For those who I've not met, as Janet indicated, I'm Kevin Dragon, and I serve as the program manager for our planning and project delivery team. About 3 years ago, there was a small team within the ENAS program that provided support to our internal asset management program, who in turn acted as a client agency for the FPS team. Though this internal relationship worked generally well, it was awkward given that we were all DES employees and the project managers often needed to act on behalf of the agency. With changes to our organizational structure and how DES manages its facilities on campus, a need emerged for FPS to provide better coordination to our partnering DES divisions. This need also extended to our many stakeholders on campus who desired a more direct collaboration and coordination with our project managers. In response to these organizational changes and stakeholder needs, our leadership decided to create a campus-focused program within ENAS or within FPS. This gave rise to our planning and project delivery team, or the team we commonly refer to as PPD. This dedicated team is responsible for successfully planning and delivering our agency's capital programs, and in addition is called upon to provide technical assistance to our other DES divisions and clients on the state capitol campus. Our program is organized into two interdisciplinary teams, which includes a planning team and a project delivery team. The planning team is responsible for preparing the agency's long-range plans for the redevelopment, preservation, and future development of the state capitol campus, as well as other DES managed facilities in and around the state. There's just a handful. This team focuses its efforts on analyzing trends, collecting planning level data about our facilities, developing alternatives and recommendations for capital improvements or otherwise meeting the needs for state government on campus, preparing long-range capital and operational plans and the related budget requests that go with them, and formulating recommendations and implementing policies associated with facilities, as well as practices, standards that address our state's preservation goals and accommodate growth on the campus and at our DES managed facilities. The project delivery team focuses on every aspect for successfully completing our public works projects. Their role is to manage the pre-project planning, design, bidding, construction, and closeout phases of delivery for a wide variety of capitally funded projects. During a typical biennium, this team will manage close to 50 or more projects with a total estimated value exceeding $100 million. Both of these teams are called upon to collaborate and work closely with our internal partners or DES divisions. These include buildings and grounds, property management and maintenance teams, campus security and visitor services, fleet operations and parking, real estate services, finance, contracts and procurement, government affairs, and communications. These teams also work closely with elected leaders, agency directors, and representatives from the legislative, executive, and judicial branches of our government. They work closely with representatives from tribal, regional, and local agencies, special interest groups, and members of the public in concert with and in association with consultants, contractors, and other vendors that service the campus. All of these stakeholders rely on this team's expertise to address concerns and meet the campus needs during the life of a project. Given our program's primary focus, we established these mission and vision statements shown here on the screen. Our mission is to provide comprehensive planning and capital project delivery services for meeting legislative, executive, and other state agency stakeholder objectives on the state capitol campus. And our vision to be the technical experts for long-range planning and capital project delivery on campus and fulfill our work through collaborative relationships and interdisciplinary approaches. These were prepared based on our current working relationships and the input we've received over the last couple of years from our agency leadership, our partners, and our many stakeholders. Our mission and vision statements are intended to build organizational trust, align our programs with the needs of the campus and its many stakeholders, promote greater opportunities for stakeholder engagement and coordination, and offer support to our overarching strategic framework for FPS, as Bill shared with you earlier. At this point, I would like to now introduce Charles Wilson so that he can share more about the program of which he leads. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Charles Wilson, and I am the Business Diversity Program Manager here at DES. I've been in this position since the program's inception on July 1, 2016. Although I have only been in this position for the last 5 years, I have over 30 years of experience in governmental diversity work, as well as the unique perspective of previously having been a small business owner and construction contractor. The Business Diversity Program's mission statement is, we provide leadership and tools to promote the use of a diverse array of contractors and vendors in order to help the agency and our clients meet their diversity goals. Our vision is to be leaders in reducing disparity in public works contracting for small and diverse businesses in Washington by creating an environment for growth and development through opportunity. Small businesses are the backbone of the state's economy. Strengthening opportunities for small and diverse businesses benefits this economy. DES has a role in improving economic opportunities for veteran, minority, and women-owned firms. We maintain a vital role in helping these businesses grow and become more competitive in public works projects statewide. Here's a few examples of what we are doing to facilitate that role. Number one, the Governor's Business Diversity Subcabinet. DES is one of 6 agencies to participate in the Governor's Business Diversity Subcabinet. The mission of the subcabinet is to increase access to contracting opportunities for small, minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses with Washington state government. These agencies make up 2/3 of the total state spend. The governor's subcabinet is working towards solutions that are long-term and sustainable. Forming the subcabinet creates a community of practice where agencies can use model policies, practices, and processes to foster, cultivate, and share best practices in increasing the use of small and diverse businesses. Number 2, DES's Public Works Diversity Roadmap. The Public Works Roadmap is a high-level representation of the steps towards changing the system to achieve greater supplier diversity. Starting with the launch of the subcabinet itself, the roadmap shows the path towards using racial and gender-neutral measures, or a path that could lead to race and gender-conscious measures. Number 3, inclusion plans. Inclusion plans are designed to help increase small and diverse business participation in DES public works contracting. Inclusion plans are required for public works contracts valued at $1 million or more. For those contracts, the prime contractor identifies subcontracting opportunities and sets voluntary aspirational goals to include small and diverse businesses. Additionally, inclusion plans are required on A&E contracts as well of $350,000 or more. Lastly, number 4, B2G Now. DES uses the Public Works Diversity Tracking and Management System, otherwise known as B2G Now. This is a required web-based system to report payment details on public works contracts. DES started using B2G Now in July of 2016. In addition, we are charged with the responsibility of assisting other state agencies and community and technical colleges achieve their respective diversity goals. Thank you for your time. I would now like to introduce you to our Claims and Disputes Program Manager, Deborah Delzell.
Thanks, Charles. My name is Deborah Delzell, and I have been in this position for about 2 years. And prior to that, I was project manager in E&AS. The Disputes and Claims Program is a small group within the division that originated during the general administration years and has been in existence for about 30 years. This, large public works projects inevitably run into unforeseen conditions and conflicts that can lead to claims and disputes. And the division developed over time a method of working through claims and disputes at the lowest level. If necessary, we do elevate unsuccessful resolutions of issues to a more formal legal process or arbitration with the assistance of the Attorney General's office. DS has a long history in public works construction of enforcing our contract, working collaboratively with our contractors, and always upholding the interest of our client agencies. Early intervention when issues and conflicts arise in a project has a major role in successfully working through problems collaboratively with the partners in the project. Projects can be in construction, as you know, 2 to 3 years, sometimes longer, and creating a collaborative working relationship with all the partners based on trust is really key to having a successful project. Based on historical precedents, the mission and vision statements here were put together by our team, and we provide expertise and guidance to facilitate the agency's public works project teams through conflict to equitable resolutions within the terms and conditions of our contracts. And our vision is to be respected and trusted by the industry to act with integrity and in the best interest of the state as we collaborate in resolving disputes and claims encountered in public works projects. Based on the years of experience working through conflict on public works projects, strategies evolve and are refined through successful outcomes. While each situation is unique and requires a well thought out approach, mediation and active listening has enhanced the methodology of our group and improved outcomes by strengthening relationship with all of our partners. We do this by meeting with all of the parties in conflict and listening to their concerns and collectively finding a path forward to resolution. We collaborate to provide options for resolution, which will ultimately be decided by the parties as a team. And then we use active listening and mediation to strengthen the relationships and build trust. We follow through with cost review of all proposed solutions so that all of the parties have the information they need to make informed decisions. So with that, I would like to turn it back over to Bill Frary, who will talk with us about the contracts division.
Sometimes the hardest part of my job is finding the mouse and the mute button, or in this case, the unmute button. So the contract section is the heart of our division, and they're the heart in more ways than one. You know, when we were back in the office pre-pandemic, birthdays, retirements, celebrations, or whatnot, you always found cake, cookies, etc. in the contract section. And Christmas time, they were very involved in pulling together the Christmas party, and I always loved them for that. But the other way that they are the heart of the division is that all of our work gets pumped through them. Contracts, bids, awards, change orders, amendments, payments, all of that kind of stuff goes through the contract section. and they pretty much touch all of our paperwork. So we need them just like the heart of our just like our heart. So with that, the mission for the contract section is we provide prompt and accurate administration services in support of public works contracting within the facility professional services. And the vision statement to be the trusted provider of efficient public works procurement, administration, and records management. So we've been talking at you for about an hour, and we thought that this would be a good time for a little break. So we're going to stop the recording, and we're going to let you step out for, let's say, about 3 or 4 minutes. So if you can be back by 3:04, feel free to turn off your cameras and listen to my voice, and I'll be letting you know when I'm expecting you back. So we'll see you in a few minutes.